Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to make this maxi dress. So the first thing I'm going to do here is I have this fabric here. It's tetrax. Guys, you can use crepe, anyone you want you can use. So the next thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go up to this. So you're going to first measure the length you're working with, right? So I'm working with 59 as my full length, but I want the top part is going to be just below your knee. So just below my knee is going to be 45, but what I have here is 46 because I need half an inch to join it to the bottom and half an inch to join the shoulder together. So after that, the width I have here is basically my hip measurement divided by 4 plus like extra 2.5 inches or so. So my hip divided by 4 is going to be 12 plus extra 2.5. You can do extra 3. Guys, it's just that I'm using the width of my fabric because I don't have more. So now the next thing I'm going to do is to go over to my shoulder, divide it by 2, which is going to be at it's going to be 8. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract 1 from this because it's going to be inside of your shoulder, not out. So that's going to be 7. And then I'm going to come down here, mark 1 inch of shoulder slope, insert my armhole. How you're going to get the length here is your bust divided by 6 plus 1.5. So I'm going to mark mine. And then on this line here, I'm just going to connect it from this part here to this top here. So now the next thing is going to be to add in my bust measurement divided by 4, which is 10.5. I'm going to add extra half an inch of ease and then 1 inch of seam allowance. So from there, I'm going to give it a curve like this. And then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to measure from my shoulder to my hip, which is at 24.5. Mark that here. And then I'm going to come down here and insert my hip measurement divided by 4. Plus, like I said before, I'm going to just do plus extra 2 inches here. But remember, at the top here, I used extra, I used just extra 1 inch. I used extra half an inch of ease and 1 inch of seam allowance. But by the hip, I'm doing 1 inch of ease and 1 inch of seam allowance. So the next thing I'm going to do now is just to go ahead and connect from the bust to the hip all the way down. Guys, if your fabric is wider, like let's say you did, the width you used is your bust divided by your hip divided by 4 plus maybe like let's say extra 4 inches, like you want yours a little bit wider, all you have to do is once you divide and put in your hip, maybe add extra 2.5 inch of seam allowance. From that point, all you have to do is just to widen it to the end like this. So let's say you still have a little more room after what you've added. Like I said, I'm just using this because this is as far as my fabric would go. And then after that, this is what I have at the end here. But at the end, another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here by at least 0.75. And then I'm going to blend it in all the way. But if yours is more angled, like this way, you can do 1 inch. But I'm doing 0.75 because mine is almost straight. So I'm just going to bring it in this way. And that's basically it. So that's it. All I have to do now is just to come up here, mark 3 inches for my neck width, connect my shoulder slope, and then come down here by like 1 inch of neck depth, and then another one for the front, 3 inches, or you can do 4, and then I'll go ahead and cut. So guys, this is it here. So I've cut here out the shoulder slope, the armhole all the way down, and then this is it. So all I have to do is just to separate the front and the back. So guys, now that I've done this, so I'm going to open it up, remove one piece, fold it back again with just the other piece. So one is going to be my front and one is going to be the back. So let me go ahead now and cut off this neckline. So guys, the next thing I'm going to do is 10 inches down from here. I'm going to notch it so that I know that's where my pocket is going to be. So I'm going to mark from here down to this point, and then I'm going to have opening of about 5 inches in between, or 5.5. So I know that from here to here is my pocket. I'm also going to do the same thing here on the back. So come down here from here up to 10 inches, and then I leave about 5.5 inches of space. I know that this is where the pocket closes. So now another thing is that for the back, I'm going to slit it open at least 6 inches down, so for the so that my head can fit in, because if you look at the front, the neckline is high. So for the back, I'm going to bring it up, bring it down, so that I can use button to close it up. So guys, the way it is now, I've cut it, so all I have to do now is just to use facing to turn it over, right? I'm going to use a facing to turn it over. This is the rectangular fabric. I've cut something like this out, place it on this here. So all I have to do is just to follow that same line, sew it all the way down, crossover, sew it on top going up, and then split it open by the center and tuck this in. So guys, you see I've joined one side. So basically you join the shoulder, fold the do the facing for the back, and then you put in the sleeve. So basically what I'm using for my sleeve is this. It's about 3.5 inches of width, and then the length is basically the whole length of an Akara fabric, like is about 46 or so. That's what I'm using. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from one end and sew it straight, and start from somewhere here, and then start making a pleat all the way to somewhere here again, and then join it straight to the end. That's what I did on this other side. So you see, all the way from the armhole coming up, at least like somewhere here, it's just straight. But once I started coming towards the front, I started pleating it all the way to the back, and then I closed it up. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side, close it up, and then we can add the ruffle at the bottom. So guys, as you can see, I've finished the sleeve. This is the body. So guys, I went back in and reduced the length of this because I actually wanted to start from my knee. So my shoulder to my knee is about 42. So the full length of this dress is going to be 58, right? So what I'm going to do is this. I want this dress length to be 58 inches, and then my shoulder to my knee is at 42. So I'm going to subtract this from this, and then I'm going to be left with 16. That 16 is now what will be the length of this, the ruffle part of it, the bottom part. So, but you're going to need to add plus 1.5 to it. This 1.5 will be 1 inch of folding the edge and half an inch of joining this other half an inch at the end here to this body. So, but how you're going to calculate the width of the fabric you're going to need is measure round from beginning here all the way from the front to the back. Whatever you have, you're going to times it by 3 if you want a lot of flare, or you can times it by 2.5 if you don't have a lot of fabric like that. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I've already measured mine, so all I have to do is just to take it and add it to this bottom part, and then we'll bring it back so we can use we can make the neckline. Going to do is the neckline. So basically you need to cut out a fabric 2 inches of width, but cut it in form of bias, right? Don't cut it straight. And then the next thing you're going to do is you're going to fold 2 inches of width is what you need. Fold. So you're going to fold so you're going to make sure it's 2 inches of width. Fold in half an inch here, fold in the other half an inch here, and then you're going to fold the two of them together this way, right? And now the next thing you're going to do is you're going to take this one side of the neckline and put this in between it this way, and keep sewing it all the way till you come over to the other side. So guys, this is what the dress looks like. I've finished it here, and then this is the bottom part, you see. So that's basically it for this here. And guys, don't forget, if you want your pocket, you can also insert that. So I put in a pocket here, and this is the top part, this is the neckline. And then what you're going to do is when you get to that end here, you're going to make something that look like a rope. Fold it into two, stitch it on one side, put a button on the other side, so it will serve as a loop for the button to pass through. And that's basically it here. So you see the back here. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Guys, please like, share, and subscribe. Bye.